Like you'd be top tier. You'd be in this upper echelon of trading.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another market recap video. Today is Wednesday, July 12th, CPI day. We had a lot of data coming today. For me personally, I had a great trading day today. I ended up $750. So if you want to get more in depth with a couple of my actual trades, I'm only going to cover ES in this video. But if you guys want to look at some of the oil trades I may have taken today or some of the NQ trades that I took today, head over to my Twitter at Nux Trades, spelled exactly like the YouTube handle, and you'll be able to see some of those other entries that I had on oil, NQ, and sometimes I'll even trade gold. And before I get started here, I just want to make sure everyone knows this is not financial advice. That I'll just be covering some of the trades that I took today. In no way is that saying that you should take these exact same trades or anything like that. So, just one more reminder, if you like the content and you're liking what you're seeing, make sure you like and subscribe, and I can keep these videos coming. But yeah, let's dive into it. So I want to cover the trades that I took today and how I got that $750 profit. So right off the bat, you're gonna see that this huge CPI candle came in, and we'll drop to the 1 minute actually because I didn't buy it before CPI. So as you can see right here, I do have a trade that took place right here. That actually was an accidental trade. I was attempting to put in a sell limit or my bad, a buy limit, and that just didn't happen. It bought me into the market, and it started running. It ran up a quick couple of handles for me, and the rest was history. I just kind of closed it after that. So I was able to get a couple handles of profit just from that trade, but that's not really what I want to focus on because that was an accidental trade this morning. So I want to dive into going through our model and showing you the entry that happened this morning. I do have a couple of other entries that I'll run through that didn't occur with my model. Just some other models that I use and being experienced and doing this for a little while now. I have some different tools I can use and stuff I like to use when my model maybe isn't appearing or we're too bullish to see reversal in my model. So this is the session lowdown here. I'm not going to label that. You guys know that. Midnight here, 8 o'clock open here. So CPI takes out our session high. So we're looking for some sort of bearish move somewhere in here. And the first thing you're going to notice is that I took a long entry. And you're going to ask yourself why I took that long entry. So when we look at this giant fair value gap right here that CPI creates, I am never in a million years going to take this fair value gap right here. There's no way. That stop loss would be very large, and sometimes we just blow right through these fair value gaps. But what I will consider trading is something I call a confirmation entry. And all a confirmation entry is once we bounce out of this fair value gap, if we get another fair value gap to form um, off of this fair value gap, and that actually occurs right here. So we get another 5 minute fair value gap right here, and this is something I'm willing to play. So if I want to line up my risk reward tool, stop loss should be safe at this order block right here. But if you wanted to, you could drop it to the bottom of the swing. That's not my stop loss rules. So I put it at the mean threshold of this order block right here, and you can target all the way up to that high. So you're gonna get almost 3 RR here. That was a great trade to lead off the morning there. So that's not my model, but that is something that I've just learned over the years of experience through doing ICT trades and various models. I've learned that's something you can do. And actually, if you even look right here, there's another technically confirmation entry right here. I wouldn't have taken this one at this point. We already took this high. So in my eyes, there's really an uncertainty if we're going to continue higher or not. But you can see us respect it. Look at the close of that candle. Wicks to the damage, bodies to the story. Beautiful close right there. So now we're going to dive into where the model actually occurs this morning. So we take out this session high. So at some point in this area up here, we're going to look for a 5 minute short entry. Okay. And I had a lot of questions about this entry in the Discord. So as you can see, we get very interesting price delivery here with these four equal high wicks. So there's obviously a lot of orders lying up here, and I'm very surprised that we did not wick above these and take these equal highs because whenever we get equal highs, typical retail traders will look at that as support and resistance, and I'm looking at that as liquidity. So the fact that we did not wick up here and take these equal highs, I'm shocked, and I'm honestly glad that I got filled at this level. I could have just easily not got filled, and the move could have happened without me. But for me personally, I had a lot of people asking me if this first entry right here is a viable entry and if this is a good entry. And here's what I'm going to say that. So as you can probably tell, this entry right here would not have been an A plus entry, and I'll just throw this in and rewind so you can see what I'm talking about. So we're looking, this is all we would have had right here, okay? So this isn't necessarily a A plus entry by any means because one, we don't retrace up to discount or up to premium to short. That's our first thing we're looking at. And number two, there's really no market structure shift on the 5 minute here. I mean, we could drop down to the 1 minute and we could probably identify a market structure shift, us dropping below this low or even this low right here and this displacement lower with this candle right here. So on the 1 minute, you could argue that was your market structure shift and that this would be a good entry. Okay. But what I'm going to call this is I'm going to call this a low risk entry. So this is going to be your first entry where you maybe don't have the highest probability to enter, but it's still gonna be a play and you can take it because your stop loss is gonna be maybe three handles right here. So let's see. So in my eyes, if we want, I mean, if you wanted to go that high, it's almost four handles. But if you wanted to go just above these equalize, you got less than a three handle stop loss. So in my eyes, that's a low risk buy. This entry is right here. So I actually took this entry on my funded account today. So on a different funded account, should I say? I took this on a funded account, and I was able to secure five handles just from this move, being the low risk entry. So then the conflict came when we came back up to this equal high. This is actually a way better entry. So if we're looking at this play right here, and this is all we have, I mean, look at that. That's where we're turning into premium to short. That's really about as good as this model gets, and it's really cool to see that happen. Not only do you get the first entry right here, but you could also enter on the second entry right there. So I took this second entry on this account, and I caught the first one on a different account. So I was able to ride that down for five handles, and I think I even snagged up to nine handles at one point. So that was a very fun trade right there. Good to get in the morning session. And then after that, I stepped away from the charts, came back, and I saw we were kind of chopping at lunch. And I noticed that we had this fair value gap play right here. Where is it at? Here, right here. So we have this fair value gap right here, okay? And what I look at this is I wasn't taking this first entry, okay? Because I don't know what we're gonna do. I mean, we could chop back up, we could come back down. I did like the fact that we left this fair value gap open. In my eyes, that shows signs that we're gonna continue higher and that we don't need to come back down and fill this fair value gap. Although eventually we do come back down as market's going right now. But yeah, in my eyes, I view this as a very bullish thing that we didn't come back down and fill this. So I'm not taking this first entry. So what I like to see was once we broke this high right here, you can see we actually displaced above and we didn't really react around there too much. So once we displace above this, I'm actually I'm buying when we come back down to this fair value gap. And I was able to buy on this fair value gap and I was able to clear five handles and then take a partial at five handles, and the rest got stopped. I think it was at the five handles point again. I was hoping we could return all the way back up to high a day. My take profit was actually at these equal highs right here. That's funny where the other entry was. And unfortunately, that was just not the case. We weren't that bullish today, and I think we're returning back down to almost where CPI left us off, so we can have a big move for PPI tomorrow. So be ready for that. Um, and that was the last trade that I took today. So the model appeared once today. If I'm dedicating this YouTube to solely this model, which I don't think I'm going to, I think I'm going to give you guys every entry that I take. Um, this is the model that happened today, and I will just mark this out. So this was our model that occurred today. If you guys are trying to learn this, I'll run through it one more time, and then we can hop off here. So we probably would have just targeted this low, and it got there, but I didn't get all of the profit there. So we'll run through the model. Session high hits, PPI or CPI takes our session high. This is one thing I also wanted to cover. I love when data takes our session highs or lows. We tend to get very good setups after data takes the session highs or lows. So I'm never playing exactly at the data point. Like say we have a fair value gap and we took a previous high or low already, and then data comes and fills one of those fair value gaps. I'm very rarely playing that. So what I like to see is when the data point actually takes our higher low. That makes me feel really confident, and through back testing, I'm able to get high probability setups when that happens. So we had to wait patience after the session high is taken, and here's our model. So fair value gap right here. Hold up, put your RR in, and this was great. I mean, we really didn't have very much risk there. Risk was only 3 handles. Returns back up to premium for perfect short. So other than that, guys, that was one thing that I really wanted to cover. I still plan on making that 9:30 um, that 9:30 opening and how I play around that. Uh, in the past, it's a little bit more difficult because I went back in data and we don't have a ton of days that play around that 9:30 opening. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back and further back in my data and try to discover one that occurred even before I started taking data on this model. See if I can make a video using the 1 minute chart because I can't necessarily do it with the past 2 days because that 9:30 entry it didn't work, and I want to find one that I effectively play where it works. So I can show you how not to play it, but then again, I also want to show you how to play it, if that makes sense. So we'll have that coming up. As always, guys, if you're interested in more of my content, go follow me on Twitter at Nux Trades. Send me a DM if you have any questions on the video. We can run through stuff. I'm always open to talking in my DMs, as well as join the Discord. We had a lot of people profit today. A lot of people have been killing it this week. Big week for the Discord. Um, Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll have more content coming along the way. I appreciate you guys. As always, have a good evening, good morning, wherever you are, and good trading.